Welcome to Shout, the antidote to Imagine and Aspire. Imagine and Aspire are all nice and fluffy and take things apart and create things and generally be arty and sciencey and all that mix, and Rant being more, or Shout being more of a rant. Rant being more of a shout if you prefer. Might not be too late to change the name of the channel, it's up to you. What am I going to start with? I'm going to start with Facebook. The two things tend to annoy me on Facebook. It's a huge social media application, I suppose, resource, and it has a lot of uses, a lot of followers. It's really quite clever, and I wish I'd invented it. Anyway, I didn't invent it, and I'm just stuck as a user. Now, there's two things that annoy me. One is a certain type of user, and the other one is Facebook itself. And Facebook itself is getting a lot of stick, and we'll find out why. The type of user that annoys me is the type that likes an argument from both sides. A recent example would be in the United States, where a police officer was successfully prosecuted for the murder of a black teenager. Apparently, I don't know the ins and outs, but this teenager was shot by a police officer unnecessarily, and it was proven to be murder, basically. And everyone's going, yay, bad policeman, locked up forever, go to prison, brilliant. And you start reading down through the comments, and then you'll find some racist thug saying that it's actually good that the teenager's dead. Well, the first thing is, a dead teenager is never good. All right? You know, no matter what the cause of death, a dead teenager is not good. Even if they're the most foul criminal in the world, that is actually a reflection on society that brought them up to be a foul criminal, not directly on the teenager themselves. You've got to remember that. But people are still going, yay, dead teenager. But you think, how can you be, yay, policeman that killed this teenager in prison because he's a bad policeman and shouldn't have murdered him, and then, you know, an hour or so later being, yay, good thing this teenager's dead? Don't you remember what you liked an hour ago? What's your favourite food? Ferrari? Favourite number is cheese? You know, they don't fit together. That kind of makes me roll my eyes occasionally. The other one is Facebook's determination to stop people being anonymous. Now, if any of you have suffered from this, you'll know that the proof they require from you to prove your identity is stuff that you should not be giving out. There's no way should you be giving out that information. I won't give it to Facebook. My bank has told me, you know, no, we wouldn't ask for that. Not only will we not ask for it, we're the ones who gave you that information in the first place. We won't ask for it, and we certainly don't want you giving it to other people. And yet Facebook, yeah, we want that. That's a bit galling. But there are people who for very good reason don't want to give out their names. There's the LGBTQ community are kind of kicking off big time about it, which, is it LBGT? I don't know, but you know the group I mean. They have good reason. It's particularly the transgender sect at the moment. They have very good reason not to want to publicise who they are. They're trying to change their identity from something that didn't fit to something that does fit, and it's a very personal thing. It's not something we're just going to do for a bit of a laugh. These are serious life-changing decisions they've made, and Facebook are kind of trying to make them reverse these decisions. It's just not on. It seriously is not on to do that to people. Another group that hasn't been mentioned but quite likely doesn't want to be named and shamed, so to speak, are those that Facebook is going to have problems with. And one of the reasons Facebook wants true identity, I'm sure, they haven't said, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure if we asked it will come out, for reasons of security, to stop terrorism. Well, that's very noble of you. But I do have a slight problem there, because, what about special forces? For reasons of security and to stop terrorism, really don't want to advertise themselves widely on Facebook. But on the other hand, they might, they do deserve the chance to live a normal life. And part of that chance means using Facebook, and using Facebook under a false name, with a false location and with a false picture. That's fine. Why not? But again, I suspect that Facebook would want to know, why do you want to be anonymous? Well, if I was in the SAS and I thought, I'm on leave, I want to play on Facebook, and I'm going to set up an account, and they said, why do you want to be anonymous? I'm not going to tell them. If I was if I was in the US and a Navy SEAL and they wanted to know, why do you want to be anonymous? I'm not going to tell them. If I worked for MI5, MI6, whatever, the James Bond gang in London, and they said, why do you want to be anonymous? I'm not going to tell them. Of course I'm not. If I was the victim, if I was a beaten husband and I was escaping from my vicious and violent wife, and okay, although I nearly laughed then, it does happen, and it's not that funny. And certainly for women escaping vicious and violent husbands, anonymity is an important part of their new life and their new identity. And I don't think Facebook or anyone else has the right to deny them that. So Facebook really do need to get your act together. You do need to pull your horns in. And you need to allow the unknownness that the internet can provide, to allow possibly quite a large section of society, for whatever reason, to build new lives and make new friends, and to actually make the whole environment a lot safer.